ADCB delivers record net profit, and Saudi welcomes a new carbon market company. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. ADCB delivered a record net profit of $1.27 billion in the first 9 months of this year, a 22% rise over 2021 as the UAE economy remains resilient against the challenging global backdrop. It equates to a return on average tangible equity of 13%. For Q3, ADCB saw net profit of $433 million, a 25% rise from Q3 2021. Net interest income reached $696 million in Q3, rising by 17% year on year. Saudi's public investment fund has established the regional voluntary carbon market company with Saudi Tadawul Group. It will support regional businesses as they play their part in the global transition to net zero. The Kingdom's sovereign wealth fund will hold an 80% stake in the company, while Tadawul Group will hold the remaining 20%. The newly established Riyadh headquartered company will hold an inaugural carbon credit auction today involving 1 million tons of carbon credits. HSBC's pre-tax profit slipped in Q3, with the bank citing an impairment on the planned disposal of its retail banking operations in France. The Asia-focused lending giant said pre-tax profit fell by $2.3 billion to $3.1 billion, while reported revenue dipped 3% to $11.6 billion. HSBC says it's looking to sell its French retail arm as part of actions to simplify its operations in continental Europe. It's also exploring the potential sale of its Canadian division. UBS suffered a 24% fall in Q3 net profit on a decline in market activity, although it beat expectations due to a rise in client funds. UBS results follow a mixed quarter for big U.S. banks, also marked by choppy capital markets and slowing economic growth that hit investment banking. The Swiss bank reported a net profit attributable to shareholders of $1.73 billion, outpacing the $1.53 billion forecast by 17 analysts. Major U.S. stock indices gained overnight as the market looks to build on a surprisingly strong week, though several notable companies, including Tesla, as well as New York-listed Chinese firms, saw big losses. The Dow rose 1.3%, the S&P 500 gained 1.2%, and the Nasdaq rose 0.9%. The gain is on expectations that the Fed will eventually back off its aggressive interest rate hike plans as data begins to show some cooling of inflation. American U.S. upstream oil companies are expected to bank 68% higher free cash flows per barrel produced in 2022 as surging prices fuel profits. That's according to Deloitte, who say output growth is at 4.5% year to date. The study illustrates the clash between the White House and oil companies over how skyrocketing profits from high energy prices should be allocated. President Biden has been calling on producers to stop returning cash to shareholders and to invest in output to lower fuel prices for consumers. The IEA says tightening markets for LNG and oil supply cuts have put the world in the middle of the first truly global energy crisis. It says rising LNG imports to Europe and a potential rebound in Chinese demand will tighten the market, as only 20 billion cubic meters of new LNG capacity will come to market next year. Simultaneously, it says OPEC's 2 million barrel per day cut will hurt the market as it forecasts demand growth of 2 million barrels per day this year. And a first-of-its-kind panel organized by NASA is studying what the government calls unidentified aerial phenomena, commonly termed UFOs. The scientists will focus on unclassified sightings and other data collected from civilian, government, and commercial sectors. It marks a turning point for the U.S. government after spending decades deflecting, debunking, and discrediting UFO observations dating back to the 1940s. NASA says there is no evidence the UFOs are extraterrestrial in origin. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.